A ditty, Sir P. Sidney. My true love hath my heart, and I have this by just exchange one for another given. I hold his dear, and mine he cannot miss. There never was a better bargain driven. My true love hath my heart, and I have this. His heart in me keeps him and me in one. My heart in him his thoughts and senses guides. He loves my heart, for once it was his own. I cherish his because in me it hides, it bides. My true love hath my heart, and I have his. To a young lady, sweet stream that winds through yonder glade, apt emblem of a virtuous maid, silent and chaste she steals along, far from the world's gay busy throng, with gentle yet prevailing force, intent upon her destined course, graceful and useful all she does, blessing and blessed wherever she goes, pure blossomed as that watery glass, and heaven reflected in her face. W. Cowper. One word is too often profaned for me to profane it, one feeling too falsely disdained for thee to disdain it. One hope is too like despair for prudence to smother, and pity from thee more dear and than that from another. I can give not what men can love, but wilt thou accept not the worship that heart lifts above, and the heavens reject not the desire of the month for the star, of the night for the morrow, the devotion to something afar from the sphere of our sorrow. P.B. Shelley. Life. The world's a bubble, and the life of man less man than a span. In this conception raised from the womb, so to the tomb, cursed from the cradle and brought up to years, with cares and fears, who then to frail mortality shall trust, but limbs the water, but rights in dust. Since with sorrow here we live oppressed, what life is best, courts are but only superficial stools to dandle fools. The rural parts are turned into a den of savage men, and where's a city from all vice so free, and may be termed the worst of all three? Domestic cares afflict the husband's bed, or pains his head. Those that live single take it for a curse, or do things worse. Some would have children, those that have them mourn, or wish them gone. What is it then to have or have no wife, but single thraldom or a double strife? Our own affection still at home to please is a disease. To cross the sea to any foreign soil, perils and toil, worms with their noise affright us when they cease. We are worse in peace. Oh, what then remains but what we will still cry? Not to be born, or being born to die. Lord Bacon. The Canterbury Tales. Chaucer's most comprehensive work, The Canterbury Tales, was without doubt largely the production of his later years, but it includes writings of his early and middle life and cannot be given a definite place in the chronological sequence of his poems. The plan of the tales was probably adopted soon after 1386, in which year, according to generally received opinion, Chaucer composed the prologue to the Legend of Good Women, but that date has been recently challenged, and in any case it is not definitely known how long he was occupied with the legend. A passage in the Mans of Lord Hedling, rewritten when the Canterbury Tales must have been well underway, implies that Chaucer still meant to compose additional accounts of good women, and he appears to have made his revision of the prologue to the legend as late as 1394. For several years, then, he had both collections of tales in hand or at least in mind. But it is clear that the rather conventional scheme of England legend is rapidly superseded in his interest. Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, Geoffrey Chaucer, edited by F.N. Robinson. This edition first published in 1976, and canon and chronology of Chaucer's writing. In the early editions of Chaucer, even down to the middle of the last century, many writings were included, his authorship of which is either unsupported by evidence or demonstrably impossible. Some of them were not attributed to Chaucer by the first editors, but came gradually to be associated with him. They finally swelled the volume of the works which passed for his in the 17th and 18th century, and they must be taken into account in any study of the opinion of Chaucer